Hi there. Today we will take a video outside. Okay, the light is it's not right here inside. Moreover, I had some work like washing some blanket today, so that's in the machine, so I'm kind of distracted here and there. So today my chamber activities start after 10 o'clock, and so because of all that, I was thinking we could take a video outside once the sun is out. What do you think? So I want to tell you that my intuition has worked, and now I am like 95% fine. Why am I not saying 100%? Because I have yet not removed the wrap which I'm using. So, but this is like a blessing. I don't know how to say that. So intuition does work, I tell you. This is not the first time. I want to tell you before also that intuition does work. And actually when I spoke a lot about intuition the other day, but what is intuition? Intuition is nothing, your own inner voice guided by the God, the presence of God. So it's like God telling you before it happens that something is going to happen. Or like I told you the other day also, when somebody enters your life, I've been so intuitive in my life, can't tell you. So somebody enters your life and God tells you that this is the man, this is the woman, this is the person you need in your life, you've been looking for. Kind of it... And at times it's very strange that God tells you that at a time when it's impossible for you to step outside the life that you have during your survival struggle, you just created a life for yourself which is not the life that you wish for. And at that time, this intuition actually feels like, what is happening? Why I'm kind of listening to these words when it is not going to work out in my life? But I tell you, intuition is like the voice that just comes to you, and then the rest of the things is up to you. It doesn't happen naturally. The rest of the things that will take you to fulfilling that intuition is up to you. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to work on it? That's how it is. In the sense, a lot of it, like if you can say intuition as it is, what do you say, the formation of it, if you divide it in ratio, I would say that it's just about 50% of God and your inner voice. The rest of the 50% is with you. In the sense, you have to use your intelligence, you have to work on it, and you have to reflect on it, and take the effort and whatever is required to make it work out. That's how it is. So for me, so that's the reason we hardly ever value intuition. It's because we all are intuitive, but then it doesn't seem like working for us because the 50% of it is within you. You have to do it, and nobody's willing to do all the things, relying on a voice that means nothing to you at that point of time. The voice that you hear might be something that you have wished for at some point of time, but you feel you are not ready at all for that. Like, for example, I told you I had the intuition that I'm going to get well in a week's time. It felt like it's impossible in the sense, though I was in the phase of recovering, but I couldn't imagine that I'll be able to walk, or I told you it was very difficult for me to get up from the sofa or chair or lower level of sitting spaces. But then it all happened in such a short time. And yesterday I also tried walking for 40 minutes and it was just fine. So that means your intuition is nothing. It's just a 50% of God's guidance and and your in the form of your inner voice, and the rest of the 50% is how you go about it, in the sense how are you going to reflect on it, how are you going to work on it, and how much faith do you have in your own inner voice. So this is something that I like to share from my own experience, and it's if you develop it, I tell you, it's very powerful. So don't just ignore your inner voice. Work on it, think about it, reflect on it, and see if it is actually there is something that you can take out from it. Because it's going to be a guidance for you lifelong, I tell you. It's lifelong. And it's not like today it happened, tomorrow it's not going to happen. It's not like that. It's lifelong, in the sense it just will guide you all the time throughout your life if you are intuitive. So try that and see how it works for you, okay? Because it works for me definitely, and I am telling you, intuition is not for just one person, not for just a special person, it's for everybody. But it depends on how you reflect on it, and what are the next stages of it that you go through, that you're willing to work about. All right, so that's about it. So after that, I'm going to probably go outside and make the video. It's much better than here. It is, I told you I'm not put the light, because if I switch on the light, I feel it's too bright, and too bright videos are not good. Comparing to too bright videos, it's much better if you have a video that has less light. It's more authentic, and it gives the natural feeling of it. But if I go outside, you have plenty of natural light, so it's going to be different. So I'm going to talk something relating to intuition today. Not exactly intuition, but something like that. I'm very much interested in all these things, because my favorite two subjects are philosophy and psychology. I always say that. It's so meaningful. So you want me to learn something else, you'll have to convert all that to these two subjects. It becomes easier for me. And how about language? Of course, I love language, but I feel language is the medium that you need to express whatever is there in psychology and philosophy. It's the medium. Without language, you can't do it, right? If you want to get in touch with them, definitely you need their emails, which we don't have. And it seemed very, and I had enough time. So in 2009, I started getting in touch with all those friends who I had lost in those years, And it was such a great feeling to be in touch with everybody. And so I was pretty excited about being active in social media. I'm talking about, my age would be at that time around in 20s, late 20s probably. So that's when I got introduced to social media. So this question usually just pops up, So is it okay to have a private life and not be active on social media? So what is your view on that? I don't usually click on the like button because I don't believe in that. I am like, it's okay if you have a social media. Social media is something that we all have accepted, especially for adults. For children probably you can have some kind of restrictions imposed on them because they are yet not mature to know the advantages and disadvantages of accessing social media as such. Not even about technology. So when it comes to technology or social media, it's better to give that option to children to know what are the advantages and disadvantages of accessing it or being active in that. Let them answer it. So when they answer it, it's totally a different thing. You will be able to know what they believe is right, in the sense if it is if it is Facebook, if it is Instagram, if it is whatever mode of social media that you're using, is it what do they think are the advantages and disadvantages of it? Let them answer that question so that you know what is their view, what is their real view about it. Do they believe that it's all advantages only and there are no disadvantages? It cannot go wrong in any way. So when you give them that much freedom, it becomes easy rather than imposing it on them. You know, always I feel that you should give children that much right to relate with what they believe is right and what they are doing and what is wrong. And then you go through it so that you understand what your child is or whoever it is. So back to the question, let's come back to the social media question. So I believe that social media has advantages and disadvantages. It's like in life, most of the things, if you overdo it, it's not good. And if you don't know whether it is good or bad, or whether it can do good or bad to you, whether it has advantages and disadvantages, and you don't know about one side of it, then it's going to be no good for you. But otherwise, if you know how to balance it, then it is just fine. So whenever this question pops up, like is it okay to have a private life and not be active and not share your life on Facebook? I don't know. For me, until now, it has done a lot of advantage. I believe that I'm not very active on social media, but I refine it in the sense what I share there, and I think about it and share usually. So there was a time when I shared a lot of my personal stuff on Facebook, and there are people who do that, and I have done it at some point of time, but I don't think that as an adult you have that much freedom whether you do it that way or do it other way. That's it. That's why you are an adult. Adults have rights, you know. Adults have a right to do whatever they wish for unless it is illegal. So it is not illegal at all to share your information on your social media. It's not wrong. So you are not going to be punished for doing that. And as long as you're not going to be punished, you have that right to do it. And it's not like you are offending somebody. You're just being honest about whatever is there. So if somebody is having some allegations or some complaints against it, they can always come to you and they get clarified about it. So that's my view. So if you have problems that I am sharing something on my Facebook, you know, there is an option where you can just block or delete the person in your friend list and not just look to that site. Like it's as simple as that. You know, when you live in a locality, there may be people doing something that you don't like them doing, unless it is within your house, you know. So what do? You don't like it, you're going to keep looking at that side and taking a note of what that person is doing, or are you going to just block that path and never look to that side if you don't like it? What's your problem? What's your problem? So that's my view on that. So if I use Facebook or any social media, it's because I feel it is okay using it. And when this question comes up, I always think, what's your problem if I use my Facebook? You have so many options there. You go to friends list, you have privacy settings, you have an option to order it, in the sense whose updates are you going to see and whose updates you are not going to see. You can prioritize it, order it. So you have a variety of options. Then what is bothering you? Why can't you use your Facebook or social media to keep in touch with the world or to know what you want to know? So I don't know. I believe it's just up to you. If you like doing it, you can do it. You are an adult. Adults have rights, and you cannot enter their world and just stop them from doing some things. It's not possible. There's a limit of trying to change people, you know. After a while, you're going to, sooner or later, you will understand that adults have rights and they do things because they feel it's right, unless they are idiots, unless they're really stupid and they have no sense of what they are doing and they just keep doing things like that. So that's my view about it. So what is your view? What do you think? I'm very much interested in knowing other people's views. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to do things just like you are doing, unless that approves to me. But I still believe that people have, it's nice to have different opinions. Okay, so I wanted to talk about another thing which is relating to intuition. I told you, but then I have just got distracted and come to another area, and so I'm very sorry about it. So tomorrow we're going to have it outside, and at that time definitely we will talk about that topic which I wanted to talk about. Okay, that's totally different from this. That's about if God comes to you and there is a wish that you want to make to God, what is that wish going to be like? It's just going to be one wish. What it is going to be. And relating to that, we will talk. I have so much to talk on that, when it comes to God, it's like, do you believe in God? That question always comes up, and I think that allows you to think freelance, like what is your view on that. Today my hair is not dried, so unlike yesterday it was a shampoo day, so it was more dry. Today it's totally wet, so I'll have to wait some time, and it's also time for me to go to the chamber now. Okay, so take care, and I'll be back with tomorrow with some another topic. I already told you what it's going to be. So it's going to be God and your wishes. So please do share your views on what it is like to be on social media. You can say you don't have time. We don't have time to spend on social media. We have other works to do. We are not like you, sitting idle all the time so that we can access social media. You can always say like that. Or you can just engage somebody to manage your social media. Like there's so many people, and they have secretaries who manage their Twitter handle and the other accounts. So it depends on you. But what is your view? Has it got advantages and disadvantages, or you just stick to one side of it and keep your life private as it can be, what it is like? Okay, take care. And today is Tuesday, and it is the 18th of October. Are you excited about it? As much as I am. I like when the months just go by, because it means that we are nearing the best month of the year, which is December. There's no other month that I look forward to like December, and there are reasons, and I'll be telling you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.